Empires do not fall. They rise. The Aztec and the Inca stand powerful, alive, and expanding, shaping the world in real time. History is not something we read about. It is something still unfolding. There are no ships on the horizon. No quiet invasion waiting to begin. No flags are planted, no lands are taken, and no cultures are erased. The moment that changed everything in our world never happens. And that changes everything. Entire continents grow without interruption, without collapse forced from the outside. The balance of power shifts. Slowly at first, then all at once. The world we recognize never fully forms. No global empires stretch across oceans to dominate distant lands. Instead, something far more complex begins to take shape. Imagine this for a moment. A world where European colonization never happened, not delayed and not weakened. Just gone. Completely gone. The impact is immediate and impossible to ignore. Civilizations continue forward on their own paths, building, adapting, and evolving. Nothing is stolen, and nothing is lost before its time. In the Americas, something extraordinary unfolds. Empires rise higher than ever before, expanding with confidence and control. The Aztec and the Inca are not memories. They are power. Their cities grow with intention and precision. Architecture blends with nature, creating spaces that feel alive and balanced. Knowledge flows forward, passed down without interruption. Without fear. Africa tells a completely different story. There is no exploitation shaping its future, no centuries of forced silence. Instead, there is growth, steady and undeniable. Kingdoms like Mali, Songhai, and Great Zimbabwe expand beyond expectation. Trade routes carry ideas, not control, and influence spreads naturally. Africa becomes a center of knowledge, not a place to be taken from. Centers of learning rise across the continent. Scholars push boundaries, questioning, discovering, advancing. The world begins to look toward Africa, not past it. And then there is Asia. Already powerful, it continues forward without interference. China, India, and the Islamic world evolve rapidly, shaping the future on their own terms. Technology, philosophy, and governance advance together, not for domination, but for progress that benefits everyone. Trade connects civilizations. Without chains, without control, balance holds across the world. No single power dominates, and no empire overshadows the rest. Stability grows slowly, but it holds. And Europe? It does not disappear. It adapts to a different reality, one without external empires to depend on. Growth comes from within, not from taking from others. Competition still exists, but it feels different. It is driven by survival, innovation, and identity, not domination. Progress becomes more human, more grounded. Languages do not vanish in this world. They multiply, evolve, and spread across generations. Thousands of voices remain alive, each one carrying meaning. Stories are not lost or rewritten. They are lived, shared, and expanded over time. Culture becomes something permanent, something unstoppable. Think about technology for a moment. It no longer belongs to one region or one dominant power. It emerges everywhere, all at once. Different civilizations solve problems in different ways. Medicine advances in the Americas, astronomy expands in Africa, and engineering evolves in Asia. And all of it connects. Naturally, there are no global empires stretching across continents. There are only networks built on curiosity, respect, and exchange. Trade exists, but it is balanced. No forced labor shapes the system. No land is stolen, and no borders are drawn without meaning. The world feels less divided, even in its differences and identity. It remains intact. People know who they are without confusion or loss. It is not fragmented. It is whole. Of course, conflict still exists. Humanity does not change completely, and tension still appears. But it is different. Smaller, more contained. Wars are not driven by distant greed or endless expansion. They remain local, limited in scale and impact. Power does not spiral out of control. Diplomacy evolves faster in this world. It has to, because no single power dominates the rest. Balance demands cooperation. And cooperation becomes strength, and the world becomes something else entirely. Not perfect, and not without struggle, but balanced. In a way we have never known. Cultures do not just survive here. They grow, they evolve, and they define the future together. They thrive, fully and freely. Now think about this carefully. What is lost when a culture disappears, and what knowledge vanishes with it? What stories are never told, and never remembered, and what could have existed instead? What ideas, what innovations, what identities could have shaped the world differently? The answer is closer than we think. Because in this world, the greatest wealth is not gold, it is not land, and it is not power. It is something far more valuable. Diversity, knowledge, and identity define everything. They shape the past, the present, and the future. And in this reality, nothing takes them away.